There are new court documents that are out right now, dated May 26th and June 1st, relating to George Floyd. George Floyd, the man who died in police custody in Minneapolis. He wasn't he was on the ground. The police were arresting him. He had been resisting arrest. Then he was on the ground, and very sadly, he died. And this sparked all of these riots, that we've been dealing with for the past several months. So the question is, was George Floyd asphyxiated to death? Was he choked to death? They always talked about the police officer's knee on his neck, and George Floyd said, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe." Now, meanwhile, let's not forget, George Floyd also was yelling, "I can't breathe," even before the officers really touched him, when he was resisting arrest earlier in and around his own car. So it was difficult to believe it at the moment because he had already been saying it for a long time. But the chief Hennepin County medical examiner, Dr. Andrew Baker, now, according to these new documents, concluded that George Floyd likely died from a fentanyl overdose and found, quote, "no physical evidence suggesting that he died of asphyxiation." They said that if Mr. Floyd had been found dead in his home or anywhere else, and there were no other contributing factors, he would conclude that it was an overdose death. We'd been hearing about this for a while. George Floyd, despite the mainstream media's whitewashing to the contrary, had been there not only resisting arrest, but was also on an insanely high dosage of illegal drugs, very powerful drugs that people die from every single day in this country. Now, because he was obviously under this intense stress, you could see his behavior was so erratic, even from the moment that the cops came and knocked on his window. It was so intense and erratic that may have contributed some to his death. The fact that he was on the ground and the cop had his knee on his neck, that may have contributed to some of the stress that then caused his death. You can't take out of that the fact that he was on, apparently, possibly, a lethal dose of fentanyl already. Doesn't matter. The left doesn't want to hear that. They're going to erase it. They're going to force the medical examiner to change his conclusions, which is what has happened here. The medical examiner did now conclude otherwise. The left is out for blood. Despite the scientist, right? This guy, the medical examiner, is obviously a scientist. The left is out for blood, and they're attacking anybody that they can to vent their rage. I hope you enjoyed that short segment from the Michael Knowles Show. Be sure to check out the full episode linked in the description or download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.